So I'm here with the president of the March for the Babies, Bernie Finn, and wow, what a march it was. I mean, there's been a real revitalisation, I think, in the pro-life cause. I mean...
Well, as I said today a little bit earlier, I think we, like Charlie and like Turning Point, we have turned the corner. And I think that's something that those of us who've been involved in the pro-life movement for a very long time are extremely excited about. Today has been an extraordinary success, a huge crowd, and certainly the biggest we've had for quite some time.
And you announced at the Australia Unites rally back on September 13 that you're going to go around again. You're going to run for the State Parliament, Legislative Council.
Yes, for my sins, I'm running for Family First, for which there are many, I have to add. I'm running for Family First for the Upper House, and I'm hoping that we will have a voice, or two or three voices from Family First in the Upper House after the next election. And I think what's happened of recent times, the rejuvenation of conservatism, not just in Australia but throughout the world, is going to help that.
And you're fighting fit. I mean,
apart from the hay fever that I've got at the moment, which is just absolutely killing me, but apart from that, I'm raring to go.
Downside of spring, but
yes, it is.
You're able to fit in your skinny jeans, which is. Well, it must give you.
I haven't had a flat stomach like this for a very, very, very. I wouldn't like to think how long, but I have, and I'm going to try and keep it. It'll be a very good thing.
Well, to be back in that upper house, particularly if the polls are right and Jacinta Andrews and Labor get back in,
just horrendous.
Because I did notice the last term you were in, which was the COVID lockdowns, your famous jet black hair went grey.
Yes.
I mean, if you had to face off with Dan's goons every day, and that's the only social interaction that you get, I don't know how you did it.
Well, it wasn't flash, it wasn't enjoyable, and then when I found out that the Liberals were just as bad, well, that made it even worse. That's... I mean, I for example, when at every dinner time I'd go for a walk because I couldn't actually bring myself to walk into the dining room because it was full of lunatics, and I just didn't want to be associating with them. So I would go for a walk. I'd go to Macca's. I'd go to wherever, Hungry Jack's or whatever it might be, and I would absent myself from Parliament during that. Parliament wasn't sitting, but during that dinner recess.
And, you can't rely on the Liberal Party anymore to really be much... there's not many of them in the party room now who
we can rely on the Liberal Party to do the wrong thing on most instances. And, for the last 18 months that I was in Parliament, I would sit in that party room and I would think to myself, what am I doing here? Why am I here? These people have absolutely nothing in common with me. They have no common views with me, and it was when they decided to throw me out, it was a blessing. It was a blessed relief, and I didn't fight it in any way, shape, or form, as was obvious. I was actually quite pleased about it. And it's a pity I missed out by 210 votes out of over 500,000 at the last election, and I think we can do just a little bit better next time.
And obviously we've seen the federal Liberal Party here to catch the Victorian disease as it is known.
Yep.
So this is why it's so important that there are alternatives for voters.
Well, that's why we're building Family First, because there needs to be a strong Conservative Party in this country. The Liberal Party has long ago given up any claim on that, and Family First is a solid, genuine Conservative Party, and I feel very, very much at home in Family First. I wish I'd joined them years ago. It is a party of my heart. And a party that is going to give us hope, and at the moment there's not a lot of that in Australia, and that's sad.
Yes, you're sadly true with that, though. We've got a lot of hope today, particularly so many young people.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I look around now, and here we are, close to an hour after the march is finished, and there's still a lot of young people who don't want to go home. they're still standing around, they're still talking. I mean, look at that over there, group of kids. Well, you can't see it, but behind the camera. But kids, families. It is just absolutely magnificent. What we see happening.
It definitely is. Well, it's been a marathon day for you today. A lot of us have felt like we've run a marathon.
Yeah, I feel like that. Yes.
So I'll let you go now. But thank you so much for doing this every year.
No, it's a good look, Tim. It's my wife said to me this morning before I left. Last time I said no, we'll keep doing this until as long as we have to. But that's just that. You got to do what you got to do, and there's no other way of doing it.
There have been some dark times where I've felt like all hope was lost, but today it's given me more.
Yeah, that's great. Well, every year it gives us hope. Today's given us a great deal of hope, and we'll continue until we win. There's no backing away. We have to win this because babies' lives depend on it.
And the pro-abortionists, as I call them, they didn't even bother to try to do some.
Well, I understand there were 4 or 5 of them up on the steps of Parliament. The police used that to divert us from Parliament, which I thought was interesting. And I said, you've got to have a towel on your head before you can actually get to Parliament House these days. I think that better times are ahead, but a lot of work has to go into doing it to make that work.
Definitely, yeah. And I know that you'll keep it up.
We will, don't worry, we will.
Thank you so much, Bernie.
Good on you, mate, thanks for that.
Post March for the Babies 2025, I'm here with Jane Norman, who's the chair of the Family First Party here in Victoria. I also heard you speak at the Charlie Kirk vigil, which, both events have been very well attended, the march and the Charlie Kirk vigil.
Yes, they have been, but I would like to see hundreds of thousands of people here in the street because this is such an important topic or issue that we as Victorians need to be addressing. So I think that if we could actually get the message out and get the churches motivated, and even as that dear lady spoke today, I believe her name was Natalie, the healthcare lady, she said she wasn't a Christian, but she knows that life begins at conception. So we've got all these people as well, and we've got to try to draw them in and absolutely fill the streets of Melbourne every year in October.
Well, I'm an atheist myself, but I know that life begins at conception as well. My view is based on science. And
absolutely, yes.
Of course, we were all once fetuses, but we all survived and have all thrived. So
yes,
that's how I view it as.
Well, you are so right. That's exactly right, yes.
There was a round of applause for Charlie Kirk as well, because although over in the United States, that's where he was focused on, he did have a big impact here as well. There was a few signs paying tribute to him today. Certainly, there were so many young people here today, but certainly there needs to be lots more young people spreading the message like he did, and particularly having conversations, because it's all well and good for us to all gather here, but we've got to convince the average voter here in Australia and Victoria.
Yeah, we do. You're so right with that. And I think, Charlie's approach to people is that he valued people, he honoured people, he wanted to hear their stories, and so he gave them voice, but he was also able then to be able to speak perhaps truth into those situations of those people, and I think that's why he's had such an incredible impact. And yes, I'm really excited that there will be young people here in Victoria that will be picking up the courage that Charlie had, and that we will start engaging more and more young people here in this state.
And there was a lot of Family First shirts that I saw today. There definitely is. Obviously, you're a Christian party, but
Well, can I just come in there? No, we're not a Christian party. We're a party based on Judeo-Christian ethics and principles. But people don't have to be Christians to belong. In fact, we have atheists belong to. You can join Family First if you'd like. It's not about that. A lot of us are Christians because that's our, we know that this is what this nation was founded on. We love our nation. We know that if we astray from those principles, Judeo-Christian principles, then we see the mess we're in now. So so it's not a Christian party. It's a party for all people, but there are a lot of course, there's a lot of Christians in the party.
It does seem, though, that, there are a lot of Christians here today as well. It does seem that there has been some unity amongst Christian activists that this is, for the important things such as life and family and truth.
Yes.
Because it has been split in the past with the Democratic Labour Party and the Christian Democrats, but there does seem to be this unity around Family First, which there's all this talk about the right uniting. Would you say that Family First is making progress in that?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we want to work with all those parties that stand in the same principles as us, and whatever is best for the outcome of an election, we will be working towards that. I mean, obviously, you join a political party because you want to be elected, and that's your goal. But whether it's us or whether it's another party that stands for the same principles, then so be it. And we've just got to try to break down some of the barriers that are causing people not to vote in the Conservative for the Conservative parties.
I mean, we have an awful Labor government here in Victoria, but the Liberal opposition, they're not providing much opposition and alternative, and that's why, particularly in the upper house, where it's proportional representation, that's why it's so important that if the polls are correct and Jacinta Andrews wins again, it'd be good if there was a blocking majority in the upper house to stop more of.
That's our aim, that we want to get at least 2 seats if we can in the upper house. I mean, obviously we'd want more. If that's possible, but if we can get a Conservative bloc in there, yes, that's what we need to do. That is our hope, and that's the beauty of having an upper house, that you can actually hold a government to account, and that's what needs to happen here in Victoria.
Exactly. This government thinks accountability is
I don't think they know what that means.
Well, it's been great to catch up with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Obviously it will be a very consequential state election, so I'll be seeing a lot more of Family First.
Absolutely, and it was just really encouraging today to see so many Family First shirts here. That we're a movement that's growing, we're grassroots, and we're there for families. We're here to take the pressure off families. We want to stand in Parliament and take the pressure off families in all areas of their lives. So that's our aim and that's our goal. But thank you so much for having me today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
God bless you.
I've run into an old friend, Dianne Colbert. It was great to see you after so many years.
Yeah, it's great to catch up, Tim, and I'm grateful that you're still around helping people.
Well, the Unshackled, it's mainly just me these days, but I try to make it to as many events as possible, and what a turnout today, 3,000 people. There's a resurgence happening.
Yes, I was really amazed when I saw the crowd today. I thought, wow, it's definitely grown this year, and I think it's going to continue to grow as more and more of the lies are exposed about the abortion being healthcare, which we know it clearly isn't.
Yes, and it was great to hear from Dr. Mark Hobart, who, he's been persecuted both for his pro-life conscience views and also for giving out COVID exemptions.
Yeah, it was great to hear Mark talking about his experiences, and particularly poignant about the family who wanted to abort the child simply because it was a girl. And people don't think gender selection happens in Australia. And you know, girls are harmed by abortion in that more girls are aborted simply because they're girls, and that's something people need to know.
And it's a consequence of the multiculturalism, because there is, and obviously there are Chinese and Indians who are 100% pro-life, but there is that aspect of that culture, particularly in China with their one-child policy of sex-selective aborting girls, which it just breaks your heart.
But I think even more now as they normalise abortion as, oh, it's just a fetus. I think of my own story where my dad really wanted boys and loved boys, and I think if we had 58 years ago, because I'm 58, the same kind of thought, would he have pressured my mum, look, we've got 2 sons and we've already got 2 daughters, I don't want another daughter? Would he have actually wanted me to be aborted? Because I had such rejection in my life because of my dad's dislike of having daughters and preference for sons. And I think, you know, yes, there are certain cultures where it seems to be far more acceptable and common, but I think even in our culture, the normalisation of, you know, just choosing what you prefer is happening even to Australian kids.
Well, I'm sorry that that's how you're made to feel growing up. Of course, in my view, there's nothing wrong if a family has 5 daughters or 5 sons.
Exactly. All life is valuable. All life is precious. All life has value and meaning regardless of the age. You know, if we believe in the value of human life, then we have to support everything we can to support life. And one of the things I often say to people is it's more important to not just talk about supporting life, but get involved in helping crisis pregnancy centres, support them whether it's financially or with your time and resources. Help mums in crisis, because that's what they need. They need support, they need love, and they need to know that they are valued and their child is valued.
Because as we heard today, it's often women, they are pressured, or they're told that abortion is their only option. There's so much for the pro-choice position.
Yeah, I know. And one of the things I've said is if people are truly pro-choice, then they will be happy about crisis pregnancy centres, because sometimes they actually get flack because they're helping mums get the things they need. And I'm like, if you're truly pro-choice, you would welcome a service that supports women and babies and helps those women through times of crisis. And that's what we all should be doing if we value humanity.
Of course, they try to limit pro-life activists actually providing another choice. I mean, there's the exclusion zones outside abortion clinics now. They really try to limit the pro-lifers trying to help women.
I know, it's insane that even just praying silently, you can get arrested in some countries. Praying silently, that's just insanity. But I guess it shows the threat that they feel at prayer and the power of God.
You're with the Family First Party, which Bernie Finn, the president of the march, is going to be running as a candidate for the next year's state election in November. There obviously have been a lot of pro-life Christian parties around, but it does seem that there does seem to be this unity around Family First now. I mean, the Democratic Labour Party and Christian Democrats, they are deregistered now, so there does seem to be this unity around a pro-life party now.
I think you will see Family First grow to fill the gap of the parties that haven't been able to sustain being in the political field. And I think that people are looking for people who want to support families, who want to do what's healthy and right and good for families. And that's why I'm proud to stand as part of Family First movement.
Well, it'll certainly be a very consequential state election next year. Obviously we have a horrid Labor government here, but we have a Liberal opposition which doesn't provide much opposition, so voters will definitely be looking for alternatives that
I think so too, Tim.
Well, it's been great to catch up with you again, and hopefully we can see each other again more regularly now.
Yeah, great catching up with you too, Tim, and I look forward to catching up again sometime soon.